Welcome to Kicking Balls FC. All right. Today is an extra day after the post game that happened against US versus Canada. Sorry if it's a little echoey, a little wind out here. It's because it's really hot right here where I'm living in Los Angeles. It's like 100 degrees. Oof. And plus, I don't have any AC, so it is fine. So I'm actually streaming this in my living room because it was way too hot in my normally stream room, but I just needed that little airflow. So just, you know, be very wary of uh, just how hot it is. So, anyway, talking about the United States versus Canada. All right, where do we begin from this one? Oh my gosh, I don't know. It it is a tough one. I'll tell you that it's a very tough one. A little bit of review of what happened. So this was the second match, happened on Sunday. The United States didn't have Weston McKennie because of disciplinary actions. If you can already see what I already did on Twitter, I already let him have it as much as I could. But maybe I was a little too hard on him. But still, it's the World Cup and the stakes are high. So you can kind of understand a lot of fans' frustrations because of what is going on at this very moment, right? So again, welcome to the stream. So let's review what happened from U.S. versus Canada. So in the first half, it was very lackluster. There were a couple of chances that was going on the U.S.'s way, but Canada looked more dangerous. And just being honest, I thought that Canada had one of the best counter attacking team that of all of CONCACAF because they know how to counter. And going from the first half, there were a couple of chances from Pulisic, from Miles Robinson, and even Sergino Dest. Then move on to the second half. Aronson basically scores in the 55th minute, but unfortunately, the United States forgot how to defend. Come on now. How can you let an easy play, very easy, it was textbook, it was like elementary school, like defending, it was that bad. Like I think, and another problem is that Berhalter waited way too long to make substitutions in the 82nd minute. Are you kidding me? 82nd minute to make a substitution? Oh my gosh, like just when you think like this coach can't be more pathetic and more out of his element, because Canada was already making substitutions, and man, like I would think that right after the goal it would have been a perfect opportunity to make substitutions because a lot of players looked tired, they're running out of ideas, and then when the substitutions came, that's when the United States started to react. But right after that goal by Kyle Larin, and then Alfonso Davies just destroyed Yedlin and John Brooks and Miles Robinson. It was tough, and then they basically bunkered down. But they could have won the game. There were just so many chances. So I would think that Canada must be kicking themselves. They could have won this game. And then it ended 0-0. But then even more frustrating was that the ref only added 3 minutes of stoppage time, and it was just terrible, like all around. It was just like a very lackluster performance. Like I've never seen this team look so bad at home, right? Because this is your home. Like you have about like good close to 4,000 fans getting in, cheering them on. It was awesome just seeing the entire American Outlaws, the Barria de 76, so other supporter groups. But man, like it was just terrible. Like I don't know what to say. But we have to move on. And what's even worse now is we got to go to Honduras away and pray pray that at least get 1 point away from this game, because if Salvador away gave you any indication of where this team is, like, that's it. Because El Salvador, I would think that that would be the easiest game away, right? But now you're going to go up a level with San Pedro Sula. So now we have Honduras right close, and they're going to have a full rested team, because when they played against El Salvador away in Cuscatlan, a lot of their starters actually weren't playing, which is kind of a gamble, because I think that Honduras could have stolen 3 points away from El Salvador. And El Salvador, you could tell that they have a plan, and I think if they had a lot more creativity on the offense, I think they could, score goals. But El Salvador was dominating that game. It was like 70% of the possession, and but they couldn't manufacture goals, and that was the toughest part. And then also that there was a power outage, right? So that's going to be the opponent for the United States. So hopefully, Greg, which I don't have any more confidence anymore. I gotta be serious. I really thought, like, right after winning Nations League and Gold Cup, that things were looking good. Things were, getting optimistic. Sure, there was a little bit of, overconfidence. But I also knew that this team was young, but they were hungry to make the World Cup. But from what I've seen this very timid team, very scared to make these plays, and they're just overthinking so much. And I think they have to keep it simple as possible. Just like two touch passes, and then just go for it. So now that we go away to Honduras, oh man, like I don't know. The U.S. part of me, the fan in me, I would say, hell yeah, we can get 3 points, right? If the last two games were convincing, and I wish that maybe I would have loved that the U.S. started a home game first and then went away, because, man, it was tough when you start away. When you start away, you have an uphill climb just to qualify. But looking at the other table, looking at the other, opponents that we're going to have later on, look at Mexico. They have 6 points. They won home and away. They had to score a last-minute goal against Jamaica, but they made it happen. And then for Costa Rica, they played very well, but kind of scrappy, but they got a penalty out of it, and then they just scrapped the win. And that's what you got to do in CONCACAF, in any World Cup qualifying. When you go away, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be stylic. It's not going to be very good football, but, grind out a result. And, that's what I'm fearing, that this team is not doing very well. That, when you score a goal, especially that late in the second half, you kind of have to understand, like, all right, it's World Cup qualifying. Sure, you want to get that second insurance goal, but that you have Alphonso Davies and then Buchanan ready to go. You have to put a game plan saying, like, we must neutralize that speed by whatever means necessary, but at the same time not get any silly fouls, especially Tyler Adams, because, man, I was so mad at him when he basically clotheslined with an elbow on Mark Anthony Kaye, and there was such a good counterattack. It was such a good press, but he wasn't supposed to do that. But, man, he's thinking about it right now, I can think. So now, and also, let's talk about Weston McKennie, this whole drama that has been happening. So I'm doing this live stream right today. It's September 7th, Tuesday. All right, and a couple hours ago, they just announced the reason why McKennie was suspended for the game against Canada. So he broke protocols, and it says that he invited an individual to the hotel, and that was a big no-no. And now that came to light. I wish that they said it earlier instead of all of these accusations, because, oh my gosh, when I was looking online, there was these crazy allegations, like, you don't even know And again, I was in the heat of the moment. I wasn't very happy. I was very full of rage because of this result that happened against Canada, because I feel like we should have won that game. We should have played better. But, they deserve it. They deserve, walking away with at least a point, but maybe they should have gone 3 points. But, it is what it is. So now it's very critical for the U.S. to win the rest of the remaining games, because sure, it could have been worse. If it was a loss, oh my gosh, it gave that 2017 feel all over again. And I'm already getting PTSD with this team. Hell, I felt so sick after that game. I had like trouble breathing, like my heart was palpitating. I feel like I had COVID or something. This team is giving me COVID. God damn it. Seriously. Oh, this U.S. team, it is a pain, just a pain to follow. But you know what? Through thick and thin, right? Through thick and thin. But anyway, so Weston McKennie, going back to him, was it stupid of him to do that? Yes. He should know better. He's a professional. And also, I think that thinking about it, they say maybe he's young, he's doing stupid stuff. Like, no, come on, man. Like, even the youngest professionals, sure, they do stupid stuff, but they don't do it right before a big game, especially with everything that's on the line, especially a World Cup, because the fans are hungry for a World Cup. I don't know if these players are hungry. I don't even know if this coach is hungry for this World Cup, because tactics, there's no tactics. Like, I see a group of individuals playing very timidly, without ideas, and very predictable, horrendous. And if I'm hoping against hope that they get a result away in Honduras. It doesn't matter if it's 3 points or 1 point, but don't go out there and not get anything, because that's my biggest fear, that we get out of there with 0 points and then we start the first window of qualifications with only 2 points in 3 games. That's unacceptable. And it, like I said, like that Salvador game really is coming back to bite us, unfortunately. But what can you do? So right now we are at the moment seeing what could happen. So hopefully there is a game plan somehow, because it almost feels like every time the US hits a low, somehow they respond in the least moment that you think. It kind of reminds me when we were playing in Nations League, and the day before we played Honduras, we played against Switzerland and we lost 2-1, because we didn't have Christian Pulisic and also Zach Steffen, because they were busy playing in a Champions League final. Then when we played Honduras, the first couple of minutes it looked really good. You saw flashes of creation, and you saw a team that wanted to play. But at the same time, when you don't convert those early chances early on in the game, it comes really hard to bite you. Because I've seen this, like we need a number 9, we need a killer finisher, and I feel like right now we already tried Sargent, we saw Pifok. We got to give Pepe a chance. We have to give him. Like, what do we have to lose anymore? Seriously, besides the game. But give the kid a chance. Sometimes you might need a little, some raw talent in there. Put them in there. Put them. You never know. Sometimes these kids can surprise you, and I feel like Pepe is the type of person that does well under pressure, and maybe he can do a couple things, and maybe he can salvage at least maybe a point or a win. But you're gonna do a disservice if you don't at least play him for this last World Cup qualifier. I kind of wish that Pepe actually played against that Canada game, because maybe he would have been a good addition, or even a Salvador game too. That would have been a perfect opportunity because Pepe's background on playing against compact teams, especially when he played at the USL and MLS. But I don't know what the coach is thinking. Nobody knows. And even in the press conference today, you can kind of tell that he was already pissed off by the questions of McKennie. And Pulisic, you can kind of see from his body language, and then Tyler Adams too, but somehow they say that everything is fine, that he apologized and it's going to move on. Well, hopefully that happens, because right now Weston McKennie's in the hot seat right now in Juventus, because the whole the sports media here in soccer is very lenient. They don't care here in the United States, but over there in Europe, oh my God, they're eating him alive out there. And he's going to need a big performance from Juventus to get out of this, because seriously, it's not looking good. But, I'm trying to be as positive as possible, but it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard because, like, when you see the table, you see that it's an uphill climb. But again, it might not be that impossible, but for me, it feels like it is. Like, I feel that the sky is falling, everything is bad, the PTSD is coming back. It's not good, man. It's not good for the health, seriously. But I'll tell you something. Like, looking at the standings for CONCACAF, so we already know that the Mexico is gonna walk through qualifying. There is no ifs or buts. They're gonna walk. They've done this. They've been there. They know what to do. They know how to avoid that debacle that happened in 2013 when the U.S. had to bail them out. Just for them to get into the playoff section. So we have Mexico with 6 points, right? Panama with 4, Canada with 2, Honduras with 2, and then the United States with 2. El Salvador with 2, Costa Rica 1, and then Jamaica 0. Man, but I guess if there is a silver lining against this, is that at least I'm not Jamaica, and I'm not Costa Rica, and I'm not El Salvador. I guess that's the only silver lining, and then also that we haven't lost a game. Not knock on wood, but. Because if you look at it, like, Costa Rica just dropped points at home. Jamaica had a horrible game at home against Panama. They just got destroyed by Panama 3-0 on their second match. El Salvador is hanging in there, but if you don't win your home games, they're gonna creep up on you. And I don't know if El Salvador could maybe salvage a point away, but from what I'm seeing, a lot of ties in CONCACAF, and it's hard, but it shouldn't be hard. Look, all the media, all the pundits from ESPN, from Fox Soccer, from BN Sports, like they're saying, "Oh, CONCACAF is hard," or no, come on. If it was so hard, look, why is Mexico doing so well? Because they know how to play. They know what to do. They know how to, attack. They know how to close their games at home, and also how to scrap a win away, because that's how you do it. You win at home, and you at least get a point away. That's how you qualify. So I'm thinking for the next games, so that we're going to have in match day 3. So it's going to be Canada versus El Salvador in Canada. I see it in 2 ways. So I can see that Canada could win this one, but then Salvador could surprise us, because they have a pesky defense, and they know what Canada is all about. So they're going to treat it just like they treated the U.S. game, but that away factor, we don't know. It sucks that it's not snowing up there in Canada, because maybe that could have turned the tables a little bit. So the next game is Costa Rica against Jamaica in San Jose. Costa Rica. So Costa Rica really needs this win, because they are at home, and they shouldn't give away any more points, but that could happen. So Jamaica, they're playing against Costa Rica. Man, if I say that Costa Rica needed points, Jamaica needs a miracle, because if Jamaica loses this game, it might as well be game over, because if you lose all 3 of your first games in qualifying, That's tough because that means that every other game that you play is a must win, and I don't know what Jamaica is doing, and I don't know if they get to play. They have the capability of playing their um, European stars. Oh no, that might be Panama, I think. So, um, oh yeah, so Jamaica has to like rebound somehow. Okay, so the next game is Panama versus Mexico in Panama. So this one I could see it actually. It could be a 1-1 draw because Panama. I saw that they were merciless against Jamaica, and Panama has grown since the last World Cup, and they want to go there again. But Mexico could surprise you. Mexico loves to be the spoiler. Every single tournament, if you go back all the way to South Africa, they always like to spoil other teams. They Mexico spoiled South Africa from going into the round of 16, meaning that South Africa was the first host nation, not to move on from the group stage. Mexico tied against Brazil in Brazil, right? Mexico beat Germany, that 1-0 win. So they love to be spoilers. So, be very careful, Panama. And then lastly, it's going to be Honduras versus the United States in San Pedro Sula. Oh man, so it's going to be tough all around. I'm not very confident right now. I feel like we're at the levels of the Trinidad game right now. I feel like everybody is angry, anxious, scared, worrisome, and like all of the stages of grief all at once. Like I have that feeling in the pit of my stomach that just makes me sick. Because man, it would, like, from what I'm seeing, like if they don't win against Honduras in Honduras, you know what? I feel like for all of you, U.S. fans out there that are saving money for Qatar, keep saving it because you're going to be wasting your time unless you go there for the experience and maybe follow another team that isn't doing too bad. But we'll see, man. Oh man, it's tough. But I really want to hold on into hope, and I've been talking to people, a lot of my friends that are U.S. fans as well, and also online. They want to keep the faith, but it's hard, man. It's hard because especially if you don't start right, it's very hard to keep faith. Because if you look at the past World Cup qualifying that the United States have done before, they have at least won one, not counting the 2018 World Cup qualifying. Because if you go to the 2014 in Brazil, they at least won at home, right? After that loss against Honduras in San Pedro Sula, they won the Snow Classico, and then they got a draw away in Mexico, which was a good draw. If you go even further, in 2006, they won at home the first game against Mexico. That was a start, and then a tie against El Salvador. And then in 2002, I believe they won their first 3 games, which was actually pretty good. And I think if you would have won those 3 first games right now, if we would have be talking about, winning El Salvador and winning at home against Canada, we might have a different conversation. So, but right, we're here right now, so it is what it is, and we have to accept it. So, I don't know. Like my prediction for the U.S. versus Honduras in San Pedro Sula, I feel like it's gonna be Honduras winning. I think it's gonna be like maybe 2-1 or maybe 2-0. Because the U.S. they lost a lot of players, man. Like they lost Serginho Dest. He's hurt. Weston McKennie, you already know. Gio Reyna is very doubtful, so we don't know what his status is. They've been saying that he might be out, but we don't know. But I saw him on the bench in Canada. He was sitting. I can see that he was frustrated. He wanted to go in and play, and I love that mentality that he has. But the replacements that we got, Zach Steffen went away because of COVID, and also I think like an injury or something. Um, the replacements that we got is just baffling. Like, I'm surprised that Greg Berhalter didn't bring at least a 30-man roster, because that's what we needed. Because we knew this could happen. We knew that there would be players hurt, and we needed other players to step ahead. Because what was the whole point of going to Gold Cup if you were not going to get all these players? And I understand a lot of the European players, right? Tim Weah was hurt; he couldn't travel. Matthew Hoppe just did a transfer from Schalke to that new Spanish division side. Who else? Reggie Cannon. I don't know if he was going to be transferred, but it didn't go through. Some other ones that I don't remember the top of my head, but yeah, and even some of them that was in the MLS that could play very well. I'm surprised that they weren't called up, but I don't know. Jackson Yule, just hearing that name is just, if any US fan thinks that Jackson Yule is the answer, just stop. Just stop what you're doing, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Jackson Yule is a shadow of his own self. He doesn't deserve to be in that team. And let me tell you, because the stats don't lie. And even that one goal he scored against Honduras for the Olympic qualifying, that doesn't even save him, because I saw what I needed to see in Gold Cup, especially all those other games that he played with the U.S. At friendlies, and then also in Nations League as well. So I don't rate him highly. But then again, they tell me, who would have you loved to bring into the U.S.? I would have brought Jesus Ferreira, because he is on fire, man. And especially if you need goals, why don't you do a 4-4-2 or maybe a 3-5-2? Do something to create an attack. Because come on, we need goals, and the goals aren't coming. And it might be premature of me, but if you have the two attackers of FC Dallas that are producing week in and week out goals, why don't you bring them, right? That's what a lot of other nations do. They bring the dynamic duo, have them in, put them in at the same time. They'll make something happen, because they know how to read each other's plays without even talking. They know exactly. They know from one moment that, let's say if I'm about to cross the ball, he knows that I'm going to cross the ball. I don't even have to give him a signal. He knows, like, if I have that space ready to go, cross that, make that goal. Or I could fake it and kind of say, oh, I'm going to pass it to this guy, but no, I'll take it myself, score. But I don't know. It is tough, but it looks very bleak from what I'm seeing. And yes, I'm like, sporting my U.S. jersey with pride. And also, you could kind of see my other jersey right behind me, and my scarf and everything. But I have to be realistic. You can't lie to people and just give them false hope, because what I'm hearing from a lot of people is just a lot of false hope. And if you're not seeing the same game that we're seeing, and a lot of fans are just like saying that this team looks just it doesn't gel well. Like, just because you play for the best leagues doesn't mean that it can all of a sudden become a good team. And it all has to do with the manager, man. The manager, Greg, man, like, I feel like he is not the right manager right now. But maybe this game could change that, but I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it, because they would really need to play the game of their lives in San Pedro Sula tomorrow to convince me otherwise that Greg is the right man for the job. Look, Greg is a good recruiter, no questions asked. He fights hard for those dual nationals, and then he also makes sure that he gives people opportunity. But then he makes some like really like stupid, like just formations and stupid roster selections and just stupid tactics. I don't even call it tactics. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but Oh man, it's really surprising how fast everything has fallen from Nations League all the way to Gold Cup and now this. Like it took just 5 days and 2 games to really change the dynamic of this team and how we view this team going forward. So it is what it is. But I will watch the game. I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it in Paramount Plus, or I will watch it in Telemundo, or NBC Universo, because from what I saw in the El Salvador game, man, their cameras sucked in Paramount Plus. You couldn't enjoy the game. But then when I saw it in Telemundo, oh man, it was good, man. Especially Andres Cantor. I was waiting for that guy to scream goal, and I'm like, oh man, what a missed opportunity. Because there's even like famous commentaries that follow U.S. soccer, and they want him to do good, but because my goal in this World Cup qualifying is that the U.S. makes it, that Mexico makes it, and then Canada makes it. Big three right there, because Canada's stepping up their game, man. They have some good talent. And then the fourth place, it could be a fight between the rest, from what I'm seeing, but I don't know, man. It's tough being a fan, especially if your team doesn't play to your expectations, and also when all the hype is going on and they don't live up to the hype. It's tough. But we'll see. I'm gonna try to stay positive, but if you see me rage tweeting, Kicking Balls FC, you know what I'm all about, because I really want this team to do well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, thank you so much for joining me in the live stream post game. It's a failure for winning at home. It's really time to panic. I think it is. I think there is no question that it is time to panic at this very moment. Because if you're not panicking, if you are not, as a fan, if you're not asking more for this team in the qualifying, then you really, I don't know what to say, because man, it's tough. It's tough. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but for so far I hate being right. I really hate being right. Oh man, especially on this. But we gotta do our best. So just sending some good vibes, hopefully, to the team, and also to all of you U.S. fans that are diehard U.S. fans, that you want this team to succeed no matter what the outcome. But for me, Greg Berhalter out. Berhalter out 110% all the way, because I can't stand this manager with no tactics. I don't know. And who would replace him? I don't know. But hopefully not someone worse, because that's what we need. Someone worse in charge of this U.S. golden generation. But, stranger things have happened. So we'll see. But I'm going to see the game. I'm going to do a post-game analysis, and it's going to happen the day after. Sorry that I didn't do it the day after on Sunday. It's just that day was Labor Day. It was very hot. As you can clearly see, I had to do it outside. But probably the next post game I will be able to do it in my studio, so that way it's much more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So let's go, US. Hopefully you don't let us down, and as you can clearly see, I don't have that much motivation, because this team basically took that all away with this draw and the draw afterwards, and just this piss poor performance. So hopefully I am proven wrong, but other than that, from what I'm seeing, just if you want me to be more honest, if you really want me to kick someone at the balls, this is what it is. Like the United States men's soccer team looks like they've been kicked in the balls, kicked in the ass, and kicked in the head all at the same time, and inside a dumpster fire. And if they don't figure things out right now, then I can basically say, well, I guess I'm not going to go to Qatar next year, because I really was hoping I was going to go to Qatar next year. But if the U.S. is not there, then I might as well not go. But the dream is there. But for me, the dream is it's looking like just a dream. It's not coming into reality. But hopefully, I wish luck on the boys, and also the fans as well, because let me tell you, you guys have more faith than I do. Because I basically have that PTSD again. It doesn't feel good, and I just don't want, my, the fan in me to be broken again. Because after that debacle that happened in Trinidad and Tobago, oh man, you don't know how long it took me to get out of that depression. I was so depressed, like after October, and then, November, even December when they were doing the draws. That was even more depressing. And then to know that we were going to host the World Cup in 2026, oh man, it came full circle. And oh man, like I really don't want to feel that again. But if from what I'm seeing, it feels like it's going to happen again. And I might as well accept the inevitable, because it's hard, but maybe something could happen, maybe, I don't know. So, but thank you guys for joining me in the live stream post game edition. If you want to follow me on Kicking Balls FC on YouTube and on Twitter as well. I'm not only going to be following the USMNT, but I'm also going to be following Champions League, Copa Libertadores, MLS, and some other awesome soccer tournaments that are out there, but especially the Champions League, because it looks really good this year. So thank you guys for joining me. God bless. Stay safe out there. Make sure you practice social distancing for everyone, and then also take care of yourselves, and hopefully Godspeed. Godspeed for the US. All right, peace out.